Our next speaker, it's a very important one as well, and he will set up the future, actually how the future will look like when it comes to, let me say, trends and technology. For the first time in our conferences, we managed to have Gartner with us. It's a very, we are very proud and honored to have Mr. Václav Špáňa, the executive partner in Gartner, with a very impressive background. Václav, thank you very much for being with us. The floor is yours.
Good morning. I will talk really about the predictions, but the predictions which we are talking about are not so far away from today. Because of when we talk about the predictions, we are talking about the years. As you see, 24, 25, these are the years where we predict what will happen. These predictions are done by many analysts in Gartner. So it means it's not one guy who invented it, but it's a collection of many ideas and really proven trends which are then highlighted in these regular report and regular presentation which is done every year. These predictions are for 22 and beyond, as you see. And I'm very happy that your conference started with security, because as we know, this is the highest topic and one of the most important today. When we talk about these predictions, I will mention them as well, a little bit about security later. But let's start, because of timing, time is running. We have 15 minutes. The first prediction is about synthetic data. Everybody knows that to get the data and to have the data about the customers and to use them properly with all rules and regulation is very difficult. Here we are talking mostly again about AI and how to use the AI for developing of the synthetic data. So not to look only into the past and history about the customers and use this data, but as well about the future and the prediction. What is important here, and Pascal mentioned it in the AI section as well, AI should generate here really the synthetic data, and the models are based on the data. And we are saying models, and possibility about the hacking and tweaking of the models in the AI is sometimes underestimated because of not many people see this issue. So really again, the security and development of the synthetic data will be very important, and in future it will generate the majority of the data which we will have. Second trend is related again a little bit about privacy and how we are dealing with the security. Already today, I think everybody who has the iPhone has the possibility to basically use different addresses in the system when you fill the data into many questionnaire and forms and hide the identity and the real email address. Typically, it's recommended that we have 4, 5 email addresses for the different purposes, and even more. And in the past, VPN, for example, were used only by professionals. Virtual private networks, nobody knew what is it. And now people are using it just to watch the Netflix, buying something in the US or different markets, and everybody knows what is it VPN. So the hiding of the data, it's the trend which we will have to deal with it. And as was mentioned, 40% of people will really hide such kind of the data. And that's the trend which is really here already and which we use as a persons. And we are hiding the data. The third trend is for me, a little bit scary in the first point of view, because of it's saying that there will be a significant portion of the very successful companies who will use the technologies and data for behavioral intelligence to analyze, understand, and influence the human behavior. So it will be huge business, and the technologies which we have today and the data will allow it. And they are already allowing that, and there are already many startups who are running such kind of the technologies, and it's expanding significantly. On the first time, we will discuss about the customer and how to influence basically the customer relationship and connection. But on the other hand, it's as well can be positive because of we can influence the employees and to know what is the mood in the company, how it's behaving. If it's raining, maybe the people have much worse behavior in the morning, and we can really cheer them up. So on the first look, it looks very scary. On the second, from the second point of view, it can bring as well something positive. But definitely it's the technology which is already again here and which is already influencing us. Fourth trend, it's coming to significant influence of the agile teams and introductions in some organizations. And it's stating that 30% of the corporate teams will be without boss because of the work will be really flow of the tasks which are coming and manage amongst the teams more on the level of coaching and mentoring instead of the direct boss. Of course, this trend is coming from the, as I mentioned already, agile teams. And it's working not in every environment, but really the culture, size of the companies, speed of the teams has to support such kind of the trend. So again, the culture and the regions and cultural background will really play a significant role in the adoption of this trend. But definitely the hybrid work and what we have learned during the pandemic, working from home, really supported such kind of this trend and highlighted it into the top predictions from Gartner. Africa as a new startup ecosystem, which is again something what is coming, and already at least in the Europe, some companies are really receiving proposals from sourcing centers in Africa. So Africa is a new, it's called Savannah Valley, not Silicon Valley, as a source of the people and source of the talents in the future is coming as a, for us in the Europe as a important. For Eastern European countries, like I'm from Czech, so from Czech, Romania, it can be competition because of we have a lot of sourcing centers as well in the Eastern Europe. But definitely the Africa is in the same time zone. So I think especially Europe will be influenced or can benefit from the talents in the Africa. And this trend is definitely for us very significant. So Africa as a source and talent of the people, sourcing for the talents is really important. Composability. If you don't know this term, please check it. I think composability is the significant trend in the last 2-3 years in the architecture and generally in the resilience of the companies. What we are talking about is really that
companies who implement the composability principles are
are more resilient and will bring, as we say, 80% of CIOs will see that it's one of the top advantages how to accelerate the performance of the business. So design the business capabilities for modularities and create architectures and software based on the composability principles. It's quite important. We don't have time to go through the slides, but I would like to at least highlight what is it related to package business capability when we talk about the compose. So as you see, it's some capability like order to cash, turbine management, exchange rate lookup, something what has their own services, has their own internal data, has their own APIs, but as well it has some event channel which can react. And that is related to the business capability which we can cover. So it then creates the possibility to simplify, to extend the business or shut down some functionality or replace independently, more independently on the vendors. We don't have time now to go through that, but I think it's very important, especially for CIOs, architects, to really look on such kind of the principles and functionalities. The next trend, which we have, I think, very close to the borders, is that in 2024 will be the cyber attack will be responded by physical attack. That's something what is, I wouldn't say nearly happening because of, but when you look on the war in the Ukraine, and I think it's everywhere in the Europe, so there were already before cyber attacks, and it was seen in whole Europe. As I see the numbers in the Czech Republic, all my friends and clients in the utilities as CIOs, already before the attack in the Ukraine, at the start of the war, they have seen the rise of the attacks, and they started to alarm their security guys because of the attacks were very evident and very strong. And definitely what then happened in Ukraine with the cyber attacks and preparation, these are clearly described scenarios. We have it here. And I think I don't have to explain more, but I'm happy to discuss it in the details. 75 companies in 2025 will do something what some of the telco companies did in the past. So it means they will look on their customers and they will say to some of them, we don't want you as a customer because you are not bringing the profit, which is something completely new for many industries, especially in banking and especially in some utilities as well. But at least on the markets in Eastern Europe, some utilities are not taking any more customers because they cannot guarantee the price. Telcos are basically switching off some customers or moving them to some not reasonable tariffs. But that is something what is, again, something what is significant and new for us. NFTs in 2025-26, so it's far away from us. But this is something what some companies will be related top 10 highest valued companies, which will be based on the NFTs. So we will see, of course, influence of the cryptocurrencies and war in the Ukraine again, and inflation, but that's the something what basically crypto is here, NFT is here, and definitely, especially with, as was in the conference, CIO in the metaverse, so especially the metaverse will drive such kind of the trend. Low orbit satellites. Extend the internet coverage to additional billion of the world's poorest people and reduce the poverty. I think it's again very important trend, especially as we mentioned Africa before. You have seen the influence on the Ukraine war when they have as well the satellites, telephones there. Apple in the US now, due to regulation, but announced the new Apple iPhone with the already satellite chip for emergency communication. And definitely the low orbit satellites are here and will bring some changes to the availability of the internet. And it means the consequences for us with the hybrid work and resources across the world. So, I'm on time. These are the top 10 strategic predictions for 2022. Some of you will be maybe on the symposium in Barcelona of the Gartner in 1.5 months, and definitely we will have as well the new prediction there. That's which will be again influenced by many things. What I wanted to share as well, in addition, is some data which are from the CIO survey. CIO survey which is done again every year and which is asking on few basic questions. This question was to the CIOs and asking to which technology you will invest more and to which technology you will invest less. You see that the increasing 66% was that the CIOs will invest into the cyber information security. So it's really on the top line. It doesn't say how much, what money they will invest, what people they will do there, but all of them, they said this is the highest priority for us, and I think now after war of Ukraine or during the war, it will be really on the top even more. So that's very briefly all from me.
Václav, thank you very much. The reason I love Gartner actually is because in 2010, they had a prediction which confused me at that time. It was like, by 2015, a national critical infrastructure will be collapsed. And I didn't believe that. You know, I said, okay, why? Come on, it's not possible. And it was Ukrainian power grid that was collapsed. Yeah. So thank you very much. Number one, stay there. What is exactly, Václav, your 30 seconds advice for a CIO? Just the most important one they have to left, to take it from you.
30 seconds. Invest in people, which was mentioned by Pascal actually as well, and spend your time with your people. So it means, I don't know how you work today, but I think to spend in the 5 days week, 1 day only on people and talk to them and to know them and to find the new ideas and to as well support them is, I think, in these days the most important thing. Because of after all changes and some huge impacts which we have in the last 2-3 years, I think this is the asset which takes care from us the most.
Václav, thank you very much. I do hope that your presentation will be available for us. I'm not sure yet, but I will request it from Gartner, if possible. Thank you very much. Big round of applause, guys.
Thank you.
So, foarte multe predicții pe care ar trebui să le digerăm în liniște. Este clar că viitorul arată cel puțin interesant. Am văzut acolo, nu știu, 1 billion people o să aibă internet în poor people până în 2027. Multe lucruri interesante.